We read in the Parsha that after Nadav and Avihu, who were the most special children of Aaron, who were the future leaders of Klal Yisrael, they had brought Eish Zorah. They were struck down by Hashem. And Moshe Rabbeinu says to Aaron, "Vayomer Moshe al Aaron, hu asher diber Hashem leimor, bekrovai hakodesh. I will be sanctified with those who are closest to me." That initially I had thought that the Kiddush Hashem, which concludes and which communicates that Hashem is Daino Emes, that is perfect as you are. If there's any level of inequity or misbehavior, God will rein in on that person because that's unadulterated truth. So I thought we were more perfect than anyone else, so that example would be displayed through us. But since Nadav and Avihu were taken, that shows regarding this particular aspect of their record, they're more perfect than we are. Therefore, the Kiddush Hashem which came about through them. And the Torah tells us, Vayidom Aaron. After he heard this from Moshe Rabbeinu, Vayidom, he remained silent. So the obvious question is, what does the silence indicate? Vayidom. So Rashi says, Kibel schar al shtikoso. He received reward for his silence. Umarscha kibel. What was the schar? Shensiachirimo hadibor shemer lo levado parshas shtu yayin. Because the portion that a Kohen who drinks wine is disqualified from officiating, this was communicated to him. Question what that means. Does it mean specifically to Moshe for him, and that he passed it on? Or does it mean directly to him? It's a question. But factually, the Torah tells us he remained silent. And he was kibel schar shtikoso. So, chas v'sholom. Person went through the Holocaust. He lost his family. Remained silent. So what does that say? It says he's a believer. Believes. Who's he to question God? Hashem's Daino Emes. The Baruch once says, regardless of who passes away, regardless of how painful the pain may be, once says Daino Emes. Because although we don't understand exactly the process, but we know there's no iniquity in Hashem's judgment. We accept it. So Aaron, who shokol keneged Moshe, he was the equivalent of Moshe Rabbeinu. Aaron, who merited to be the Kohen Gadol, as it says, the heart that was able to have the love and no envy for his brother when he heard that his brother would be the Goel, the Redeemer, not a trace of envy, but just the opposite. He went out towards him with a feeling of love and so on and so forth. That heart is worthy that the diamonds, the choshen should be on his heart. So this person, there's even a question that he would question the Daino Emes of Hashem. So what does Torah have to attest to the fact, Vayidom Aaron, he remained silent. Even so-called relatively ordinary Jew would remain silent. So Aaron remaining silent, what's the great accomplishment? And Kibul schar al shtikoso, he received reward for his shtika. Now, the Sefarno says over here, Vayidom Aaron, Shisnachem b'kiddush Hashem shenigdash b'mosam. He was consoled with the fact that his children were used to bring about this great Kiddush Hashem. From now for always, when Hashem entered into our midst, Hashem is making a statement. Hashem is Daino Emes. No favoritism. No double standards. Only one. So who are the object of the Kiddush Hashem? His children. That itself, that he was able to internalize it. Not that he accepted it, that he was able to internalize it, that this is something positive, and he feels privileged, that his children should be used for this purpose, to display the Kiddush Hashem, Hisnachim. That's what the Torah is telling us. Vayidom Aaron. To be able to accept it, that's understood. Daino Emes. But to be able to put it in a context, this is something positive, and it's something, despite the pain, it's something that you feel privileged, that your children were used for that Kiddush Hashem, this is something special. And therefore, Kibul schar al shtikoso. But factually, what the Sefarno says, that it was in the Choma, that's explicitly in the Midrash. The Midrash says, when he heard Moshe Rabbeinu explain this to him, Hoylo nechoma, he had a consolation. But he adds, the Sefarno says, what was the consolation? That his children were the object of Kiddush Hashem, which is the ultimate level of accomplishment.